Good evening and welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Cybersecurity Mentoring Group is a platform where we share, we learn, and we connect with professionals. We bring professionals who have done it and had experience over the years to come share with us an important topic that we think that the community would enjoy or get something to go away with. So today we have invited someone, Dr. Francis, or a classmate in when we had our masters in Unilag, masters in IT. So it's a pleasure inviting my classmates back in the day. I think it was 2006 or so. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Francis, for joining us. But let me go through some preambles and we will get started immediately. First, I'd like to share on some current topics that happened after our last session. And last session, we talked about Microsoft Windows 10 that has been sunset now, which means that Microsoft will no longer publish updates generally for Windows 10. So if you still have Windows 10 in your house or office, it is time for you to take the next action. And Microsoft has detailed also how you can protect yourself. One is by getting signed up to their extended security updates, which means for the next 1 year, they can still help you manage that exposure. But if your system, so that also comes with either the hardware is compatible or you have software on your Windows 10 that is compatible. If they are not compatible, you need to plan to get them replaced. And as a professional in your organization, if you have Windows 10, even if you are not a security person, you can ask your security team about what they are doing. And if you are a business person and you have Windows 10 running, you want to find out if your service is running on Windows 10 and what you can do to make sure that you are protected. Essentially, you want to make sure that if Windows 10 fails today, it won't impact your business negatively. So that was the last current topic we touched on. Today's current topic is on the big tech failing. And we saw in October, on October 19 to 20th, Amazon had some issues, affected some of the organization, in fact, wider, but some of the organization on the right, on their cloud services, it was documented that they had a DNS problem. And that affected a lot of websites that depends on them. And some days after, I think 9 days after, we had Microsoft, who also was down. In fact, for this particular Microsoft, because in Cybersecurity Mentoring Group, we are currently running what a course I'm going to talk to in a few seconds. We are running that program and we depend on the Microsoft Azure environments to work. And the candidates couldn't do much. So we were having a conversation around what happened and how this impacted them. And that is to show you the magnitude of the failure. We are training and we couldn't do anything. How much more organizations, maybe banks, hospital, that depend on Microsoft to be able to do their business, and because of that failure, they couldn't. So now the concept of cloud has made a lot of things very, very easy. You probably don't need to worry about some things because of cloud. But along with that opportunity, as you know, every opportunity has its own risk. So cloud services is not a bullet, it's not a silver bullet that once you get to the cloud, you are safe. Cloud service providers can be affected. And usually when they are impacted, it's a lot. It's a lot. See, the impact is kind of very wide. Now, what can you do as a cybersecurity professional? So first, for Amazon, it took about 15 hours. So there's no business continuity plan that would not have considered that will not have services that they need to make sure is available in 4 hours. But this particular one took about 15 hours. So you can imagine the impact on organization. In fact, I was going through some commentary, and one guy said that he couldn't wish his friend happy birthday because Amazon was down. Now that's a social impact. It could have life-threatening impact on hospital, and it could have also threatening impact on airlines and logistics and all of the critical service sectors that operate. So you need to understand that some of these failures are really, really critical. For Microsoft, the same thing. The organization couldn't do what they would normally carry out as a business as usual. Now, what do you do as a cybersecurity professional when some of these things happen? First, you have contracted your service to a service provider, so it means that you are free from some responsibility. However, you are still accountable to your customers. So if your website goes down because Microsoft is down, or you can't fulfill some order because Microsoft is down, you can't say, I have done my best. You need to plan for when people you depend on fail. If you have a driver and you expect the driver to pick you up at 7 a.m., you have to plan that. What about if the driver is late for reasons that are beyond is doing? So you have to plan for that. And that is what you as a cybersecurity professional should be able to do. And I thought to refer to a particular framework that is one of the most popular cybersecurity framework that you can take some lessons from. And the NIST cybersecurity framework 2.0 has 6 areas. And the particular area that deals with the issue we are talking about here, there are actually 3. I cut out 2 here. There's a section in govern, which talks about supply chain risk management, and there's also respond and recover. You have to imagine that something will go wrong. In business continuity, God forbid is not a strategy, right? Your God forbid is planning ahead that what about if X company is not available? What would you do? And then you can check what will be impacted and what are your chances, what are your response going to be, even up to the point where you maybe need to speak to the press. How are you going to respond to the press when they're asking you a question about your downtime? So I just thought I should share this, and then you can go back, and then, you know, if you're not a cybersecurity right now, you can engage your cyber, and they'll be kind of be curious that, why are you interested in something like this? It is one way to prepare your mind towards your transitioning into cyber. The next item here, which I spoke to earlier, is that in cybersecurity mentoring group, we are currently running identity and access management course. It's a 7 weeks course. Thursdays and Saturday, we've had a session this morning and 14 classes. And what we're trying to do is to provide people foundational skills to even be able to look for entry-level role in identity and access management that is popularly called IAM. So we have 47 people started the course, and currently we have 43, and we're having a very good time. The attendance rate is fantastic. We have about 87% overall. Some groups doing about 97%, and the minimum was 80% as at today. So today we had our 6th class, which means we have far gone 40% into the program, and the intention is to provide people who are in cyber or who want to explore cyber to see what they will be doing if they make that transition. And we told the class to go look for entry-level JD and put it before them so that they can see how this is relevant, and what more they can do with the knowledge of identity and access management. All right, so I think, yeah, today is our 22nd edition. So this program happens every two Saturdays in a month. So we had this is the first one for November. We're going to have three because of the calendar. We're going to have 3 editions this month. So this is our 22nd edition for 2025, and you can catch up on, if you have joined us for the first time, you can catch up on the previous editions. They are available on our YouTube channel, which is below on the screen. So we as I said earlier, we bring in professionals to share from their experience. We pick a current topic and they talk through it, and then we ask questions around how can we start our journey in cyber, in case you're not in cyber and you want to find out how you can begin that journey tomorrow. All right, I think that's all that I need to share, and I bring in our guest for today, Dr. Frances. Sorry, I won't bother to pronounce your surname so that I don't pronounce it wrongly, but I think it's Undelikwo. So please, you can correct it and correct me when you take over. So welcome, Dr. Frances, and I'm delighted to have you here to share with us on this particular topic, which I believe will be relevant. So you're not only sharing with people on the call, we'll be putting this recording live, and so it will be available to everyone that comes to our channel and also on our mentoring group on LinkedIn. So thank you so much for joining, and you can take over and share yeah, excellent. I can see your screen, so when you're ready, you can take over. I think you're speaking, but your mic is not, you're muted.
Okay. Thank
Yes.
you, Wale, for bringing me on board. By way of introduction again, I am Dr. Frances Undelikwo, CISO DPO Nova Bank. Just like Wale, my colleague, professional colleague and course mate too has introduced, today we'll be sharing how non-professionals that want to dive into cybersecurity can do that seamlessly. I hope you're seeing my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. If you can click on
Okay.
to
Okay.
make it
Yeah.
in
Yes. Like
slideshow, yes.
presentation mode. Yes. I
Yes,
want to be sure
presentation mode.
that it's visible before I do that.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay.
Excellent. It's fine now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, colleagues. Today we'll be discussing translating non-cyber skills into cybersecurity value. And I appreciate we all pay attention to this discussion because over time, I've been seeing so many discussions saying that cybersecurity is meant for only skilled professionals or technical professionals. But today, we'll be seeing that that assumption is incorrect. We'll be seeing the practical aspect of it and seeing the real composition of cybersecurity teams, such that those of us that lack the technical capabilities do not feel that they are not qualified to operate within the cyberspace. So today, we'll be discovering how your unique background and transferable skills along the line will be seeing what I refer to as transferable skills can open doors to a rewarding career in cybersecurity. So before we start, let's look at some statistics, verified statistics. First, according to InfoSecurity Europe 2024 study, it says that over 4 million cybersecurity professionals are needed worldwide. This number currently are global shortage. Again, looking at workforce shifts, according to another verifiable study, saying that AI-driven job displacement will add millions of candidates with transferable skills. What does that tell us? That AI is fastly taking over the technical skills, but lack the current capability to displace non-technical skills. And what does this take us to? Two things. First, challenge. Secondly, opportunity. What is the challenge? That the evolving cyber threats demand diverse skills that extend far beyond pure technical expertise. However, having this, still, traditional hiring models are failing to meet this demand because they are emphasizing on technical skills. However, more problems are non-technical skills. As all of us know, that most of the recent breaches we have in record are non-technical. Most are human, either error or omission, or intentional or unintentional. Again, where does this take us to? Having this challenge, it opens up opportunities for people that are curious to see the opportunity. That today, cybersecurity profession is largely in need of non-technical skills. It is an opportunity for those of us such that will be ready to move into that and occupy that space. Again, we move on to another statistics on workforce challenge. And it says that 54% of cybersecurity professionals identify soft skills gap as the biggest workforce challenge facing the industry today. This is reported by ISACA. In this, there are three key things. First, human-centered security is lacking. Secondly, critical soft skills are lacking. Now, looking at human-centered security and critical soft skills, these two combined together, telling us that there is a bridge, a business bridge to be filled up with non-technical professionals. And what do they do? What is required of them to bridge between the technical professionals and business strategy? We move on. So in all this, what is the message of today? The message is that cybersecurity is a team sport needing every skill set, not only the technical team. And we see it. Having said it, what is the success of having this in place? We look at it, that having diverse perspectives, collaborative problem solving, and effective communications across technical and business functions. These are the capabilities that non-technical skills, soft skills, are bringing into cybersecurity team to make it a team sport. Again, where does it take us? We look at the future of digital security, depending on teams that blend technical expertise with diverse backgrounds, perspectives. And what are these? We look at attention to details, look at leadership skills, look at your analytical skills, look at your communication skills, look at your engagement skills, and so many others. Now, let's now look at key transferable skills from non-cyber backgrounds. Just pick a few of them to discuss. First, problem solving and critical thinking. What we are saying that the same capability we use in providing solution to problem and critical thinking in other diverse areas like finance, healthcare, education, operations, we can also bring same into cybersecurity in the analysis, threat analysis aspect of it. Again, we are saying attention to detail is a skill. We are taking time to break up these things. That everything is not about coding. Everything is not all about system engineering. Everything is not all about configuring firewalls. There are a whole lot involved to have a complete cybersecurity team. Very important is attention to details, which is also another important soft skill. Having this, we'll be able to walk through auditing, compliance work, and customer service roles. These are essentials in identifying vulnerabilities. If you have that capability to pay attention to details, then you play good. You'll be very useful in vulnerability identification and management, which is a key area in cybersecurity. Then we look at the communication and collaboration. When it comes to stakeholders management engagement, explaining complex problems, managing teams, engaging stakeholders, bridging between the technical and business world. This is a key area. Let's say, for example, in a typical information security project management, what is the first thing to do? Identification of problems. When you identify problems, you do the visibility studies. Visibility studies will enable you to analyze and bring out the solution to the problems. After doing that, what is the next step? It is the system design. Thereafter, at the end of it, that the complete and acceptable design is handed over to the technical teams. So the visibility problems, the analysis and designs are not technical work. They are soft skills that you apply in other areas, you can also apply in cybersecurity projects. Now let's look at the risk management expertise. For those of us in risk management, and we are saying that the background assessment you provide in operationals, in financials, and other areas, you can also apply same in cybersecurity threat evaluation and mitigation strategies. Let me give for examples. Some people will say you cannot assess what you don't know, you cannot audit what you don't know, you cannot analyze what you don't know, but it's not true. And I'll give you example. Most of us, we drive cars. Most of us, we know good cars. We identify good cars. Even when you're driving your cars, when it has problem, you know that it has problem. But how many of us can design car? I don't know how many. Me, I cannot. That is one. Again, many of us live in good houses. We know good houses. We understand good houses. But how many people can build car? So that is what we are talking about here. So when somebody say you cannot assess what you don't know, no, you are not expected to be an engineer to be able to implement from beginning to end. But your soft skill, we add flavor to it. Just like the same way that you're able to identify and analyze a good car. The same way some of us, you cannot make clothes, but you're able to identify and analyze good clothes and wear them, it fits you. That is the same thing that we're saying here. The same way too, you can also do the marketing aspect of it, the content management aspect of it, innovation aspect of it. Now let's move on to adaptability and continuous learning. And what are we saying? That demonstrated ability to thrive in fast-changing environment is perhaps the most critical threat for success evolving cyber landscape. Learning and development. You can also play good role in that aspect. Training. Then leadership. What the same leadership skills you need in every other area, the same leadership skill you also need to lead cybersecurity team. Your ability to manage cross-functional teams, influencing security culture, and driving organizational change initiatives. So these are the few of the transferable skills. We're saying that today, if you acquire any of these, you are fit to dive into cybersecurity profession. We move on to see other things. Now, the question is, what are the key non-technical cybersecurity roles driving values? Currently driving values. I just picked 3 of them. Cybersecurity auditor. Like I mentioned, do not allow any person to deceive you to say you cannot audit what you don't know. No. What you need is analytical skill, attention to details, curious-minded, probing. The same technique you acquire in auditing other areas, you can acquire the same technique to audit cybersecurity. Your ability to identify security gaps, evaluate control effectiveness, and guide continuous improvement initiatives across the organizations. Let's also look at the GRC specialists. Most people will tell you that in a typical cybersecurity team, we have people working in GRC, the governance team and the compliance team. What do? They bridge the critical gaps between security requirements, business objectives, and regulatory compliance mandates. As we all know that cybersecurity operation is highly regulated, and it requires the professionals, not the technical team, to ensure that organizations that are within these regulations are in compliance at any point in time. Today, within the space of Nigeria, in financial industry, we have what we call risk-based cybersecurity framework that all financial institutions within Nigeria are expected to comply with. So within the cybersecurity space in every bank and other financial institutions in Nigeria, we have GRC team. Their role is to ensure that the bank or the financial institution comply with all the stipulated regulations. ISO 27001 that speaks to information security management. You have 27017 guideline to cloud services. You have 27032 guideline to cybersecurity, and so many others. You have PCI DSS for banks and other institutions that are issuing cards, and these are robust frameworks that you must comply with. So having good understanding of this framework automatically qualify you to work within the GRC of any bank or financial institution within the country. Then we move over to the security risk analyst. Risk management team. Like you all know, risk management is a governance function. So they play governance role in every cybersecurity department in any organization. And what skills do you require apart from your normal background or your first degree? Like I mentioned, you need your critical analysis, curious-minded, attention to details, analytical mind, leadership mind, stakeholders engagement, people's person, to be able to bring out all this, and understanding of the business process and the regulations guiding them. So let's continue to move on to see how we fit into cybersecurity. First and foremost, having the technical capabilities. However, along the line, we will see how having this background, we will leverage this background, then gradually move into the technical part of it. We move on. Now, on the screen, I asked a question, how to make the transition, because it's very, very important. And I have the first step, and I'm saying recognize your value, very, very important. Recognize your value, do your SWOT analysis. What are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats? When you have done this SWOT analysis, pick your strengths, pick your opportunities, then your values. Then the next, what are your weaknesses? Your weaknesses, transform them into opportunities. Put them together. When you put them together, look at the 4 boxes facing us. Then the first question you ask yourself, your experience is an asset. This is what you tell yourself. You tell yourself, my experience is an asset. By the time you put your strengths and the opportunities together, tell yourself, my experience is an asset. If you remember in the past slides I just showed us how challenge takes to opportunity, the same way your weaknesses should be converted to opportunity, and assume that is an asset for you. Now let's look at the study by SANS. It says that prior professional experience provides critical context that pure technical training cannot replicate. What does that tell us? That your background informs how you approach problems, communicate solutions, and understand business impact. Now, telling yourself that Your experience is an asset. The next thing is do what? Target strategic roles. Target strategic roles. In targeting strategic roles, what do? You focus on positions that leverage your existing strengths. You give yourself soft landing. Give yourself soft landing. And what are they? Business analysis style cybersecurity roles, governance positions, or risk management functions that value strategic thinking alongside technical knowledge. So what it means that you can work with the technical team. What it also means that you're providing governance roles to what they're doing, strategic role to what they're doing, assurance role to what they're doing. Now the next is showcase your mindset. These are the steps you have to take in recognizing your value. And I quote that employers increasingly value curiosity, tenacity, and adaptability. These are functions of your mindset. Document specific examples of problem solving, leadership capabilities that you have. Because I can tell you, when you get to the boardroom, you don't talk about firewall. You don't discuss technicals. You discuss business risk management, how you protect the business. And in doing that, you should be able to wear two caps, combine two caps, technical caps and the business cap. In wearing the two caps, what it means that your capability, be able to communicate to the board members the problems in the language, in the business language, in executive language, that they understand that. Nobody wants to know whether you can configure firewall or not. Then the next is showcase relevant examples. Highlight concrete instances of problem solving, leadership and adaptability from your background and demonstrate cybersecurity readiness. It is the same thing. Along the line, we will be seeing where you need to understand the terminologies and do the basic training to understand the frameworks and regulations guiding the cybersecurity space. So move on to the next step. And I said, gain foundational cybersecurity knowledge. And in gaining this foundational knowledge, what do? Again, give yourself soft landing. The first is obtain flexible training programs. Flexible training programs. In doing that, there are several of them out there. Thank God for YouTube, LinkedIn. There are several self-paced online courses designed for career changers. You can do that. More so, you should be able to speak the language, understand the business process, understand the regulations, and that takes you to understanding the key frameworks. Frameworks like NIST for those of us residing in the US. But for us in Nigeria, Nigeria leverages ISO framework. We have ISO 27001 for information security management. We also have other standards like PCI DSS for cardholders management. We have business continuity management system, which will have part of it that also speaks to cybersecurity when we talk about disaster recovery management, business continuity planning, and so many other ones. Then in particular, for those of us operating within the financial framework, we have CBN risk-based cybersecurity framework, very elaborate, but it's an open framework that we all can have access to. Understand it, read it, and know what you are required to do in terms of aligning with the requirements of that framework. Then there are industry certifications, but do not forget that having gone through flexible trainings and understanding the framework guiding the cybersecurity operations within the jurisdictions you are operating, by then you are already speaking the language, you are already understanding the business processes, you're already understanding the regulations, then the relevant certifications that you need. Then beyond that, develop cyber fluency. You should be able to speak the language, understand the terminologies, master it, speak it, and that is when you have imbibed the culture. When you also integrate, most importantly, attend seminars, attend workshops, attend summits, engage, get yourself in a group like this and begin to mix up, interact. Also reach out to, have mentors. With time, you find out that the practical and the technical aspects of it too, gradually you're moving into that. But most importantly, that cybersecurity operations are a combination of technical and non-technical. You can never take away the technical. Even as we are having the AI fastly coming in to help us to do our job, do not forget that AI is not taking your job. However, it's only empowering human beings, but not displacing human beings. Even if as AI is even empowering, it is the technical aspects of it. For the soft skills that we require within the cybersecurity space, as we speak today, AI is still unable to do that. So having seen that, how we transit into cybersecurity skills, we look at the frameworks. I call them 5 C's, non-technical guide to cybersecurity values. The guide. What are these 5 C's? We look at change. Change management is change management everywhere. Embrace continuous adaptation to evolving threats. Discuss it, enroll in groups, register yourselves within professionals, attend conferences, seminars. Then the coverage, your understanding of the business process, your understanding of the landscape within your operating, especially within the organizations where you are. Because the first area of security is identification of your business process, and that is where your asset comes in. When we are talking about your assets, your information assets involve first your people, your processes, and your technology. And having this understanding, the next thing is that where are the data? Because this asset keeps your data. If you have understanding of this, the coverage, we are talking about your data in motion, the data in use, and the data in storage. If you understand this, I can tell you that you can challenge the technical teams on incompleteness of the job they are doing. If you look at the coverage, you see what we have there. That ensure comprehensive protection across organizational assets. Your holistic business understanding helps identify gaps technical specialists might miss. And this is for those of us that want to dive into assurance function of cybersecurity. Then again is the compliance. Like I said, that the profession is highly regulated worldwide. So what you need here is understand the regulation within the jurisdiction where you're residing, the legal and the regulatory requirements impacting the security operations, the policy interpretations. It also requires a whole lot of policies, procedures, frameworks, strategies. For those of us in the non-technical, those of us with legal background, risk background, do well here in terms of compliance. Then cost management is another thing. Being able to balance security investment with business priorities, financial acumen, and budget management experience informs smart security spending decisions. You need it. It is a key skill on its own, cost management skill. As we all know that security is very, very expensive. More often, information security leaders find it difficult to get the project approved. But with good cost management skills and capabilities, you'll be able to justify and prove to the management That your role, you're not just spending money, but you're protecting business, your ability to be able to provide that figures and balance it with business case, how you're protecting the business, and not just that you're buying tools. You don't go to the board and be talking about buying tools, but you're talking about protecting the business. You should be able to be aligned with the cybersecurity spending with business strategy, and be able to provide the cost-benefit analysis of doing that implementation. That is where the skill comes in. Technical skill will not do this for you. Then again is the continuity, supporting business operations through incident responses. For those of us that are continuity managers, business continuity managers in other areas, the same applies in cybersecurity. Crisis management and business continuity skills are immediately valuable. You can't take away that at any point in time. So these are 5-6 framework that will give you immediate value if you have any of these skills inherent. We move on. So let's look at a case study. A case study of a business analyst moving into cybersecurity. First, we look at the natural transition, and I'll read that business analysts possess a foundation of skills that translates seamlessly into cybersecurity roles. They are already experts in risk assessment, stakeholder management, and process analysis. So having this inherent in them, they will be able to move into cybersecurity profession, leveraging these inherent skills. We look at the existing foundation, that their business analysts bring proven expertise in requirements gathering, documentation, analytical thinking. Like I mentioned, in a typical project management, these are existing expertise of a business analyst. Same skills they can also bring into information security project management. We know that IT project management differs from information security management. So the same, just as you can operate within the IT project management or any other project management, a business analyst can confidently and also manage information security projects. We also look at bridge training, that the cybersecurity analysis training also bridges business analysis and cybersecurity domains effectively. We are saying that they can do training. You don't need to be an engineer to do training. You may not even be the person to develop the training slides, but your capability to be able to communicate these trainings, these technical jargons in the language that the end users, even non-technical people, will understand. These days is all about awareness. As we all know, we just concluded cybersecurity awareness in the month of October. You do not require any technical capability to carry out that training. And this training is needed everywhere to pass the message across. The message of cyber discipline, cyber smart, cyber aware, cyber hygiene. These are not done by engineers that stay at the lab, in the lab rather. But it requires soft skills to be able to deliver these messages to the outside world. Then applied impact. Analysts support security operations, compliance framework, and cyber risk initiatives. These are the capabilities that any business analyst can confidently and immediately bring into cybersecurity projects. Then we talk about core understanding. And what are these key things? Confidentiality, integrity, availability, and business continuity principles. Analysts have this in them. And we are saying they can immediately bring in, irrespective of the environment or profession where you are currently working, you can gain employment within the cybersecurity space and be a business analyst. That is the message of today. So let's share a success stories from known cybersecurity leaders. Success stories on non-technical professionals thriving in cybersecurity. The first is Rebecca Cole, the global head of cybersecurity at HSBC, which is a global bank. And I quote what she said: "The strongest cyber teams are built on curiosity and communication skills. Technical knowledge can be taught, but the ability to connect with people and ask the right questions is invaluable." This statement was made from experience leading cybersecurity team. Then we'll look at another success story from another global leader, Mark Rebel, who is currently Managing Director, Global Cyber Investigations, Forensic and Responses at Accenture. And I quote, "We prioritize attitude and learning mindsets over pure technical skill. Professionals who demonstrate adaptability and critical thinking become our most effective security leaders." What does that tell you? It's telling us the qualities of good leaders, the leaders that can manage the technical team to bring out the best from them. Like I mentioned, cybersecurity is a team sport requiring all skills, technical and non-technical. And you need a good leader that will be able to bridge this technical and non-technical to bring out the good result from the team. Having said that, the next question we ask us: what are the career transitions? What are the different areas? And we are saying that finance measures can successfully move into risk analysis roles. We're having examples. Those in language arts can take up audit support positions in cybersecurity. Even product managers can bridge between engineering and business needs. We have a common thread that these professionals succeed by recognizing their transferable skills, committing to continuous learning, and demonstrating how diverse perspectives strengthen cybersecurity outcomes. Like I mentioned before, acknowledge your value. Once you acknowledge your value, by doing your SWOT analysis, you'll be able to see the key skills, the inherent skills in you, soft skills you can leverage. While the core technical teams are doing the engineering aspect of it, then those of us that have the soft skills will be managing the non-technical aspect of it or the human aspect of cybersecurity operations. So what is the message of today? And what are we passing across? That building your pathway into cybersecurity. And in doing that, we are saying that every piece of your professional experience fits into the cybersecurity puzzle, whatever it is. If you're the type that prognoses too much, what it means that you can do threat analysis, you can do threat hunting. Your unique combination of soft skills and combination knowledge creates a bridge that few others can build. That is the summary of message of today. So, but in all this, the question that we ask ourselves is, why cybersecurity? What is the purpose of cybersecurity? In simple terms, to protect business, to protect people, protect customers, protect information. And in doing that, it's all about risk management. And if it's all about risk management, what are we doing in risk management? There are four things. Is that we are reducing the risk, or we are transferring the risk, or dropping the risk, or accepting the risk. In these four risk treatment types, we look at the reducing the risk reductions, and we are saying that our non-cyber skills can reduce risk. And if it can reduce risk, which is exactly what the technical teams are doing, managing the security operations to reduce risk. And in doing that, having them in the team. What are the propositions? One, better risk mitigation. Focusing higher on transferable skills leads to more effective risk management strategies, because this required having a curious-minded, paying attention to details, having a governance capability, assurance capability, people's engagements, executive and board members' engagement. These are the soft skills you need to be able to handle risk management functions. Then comprehensive defense, having both technical and non-technical team. Technical team, non-technical team rather, with soft skills background will be able to manage the people aspect of cybersecurity, especially the social engineering aspect of it, phishing and other areas. Then when it comes to incident response, again, we do not need technical people skills to do that. Soft skills enhance incident response coordination, stakeholders management, and communication. Understanding the policy compliance across the organization. Excuse me. Then in all, it's all about return on investment, maximizing return on investments. As we all know, that security is very expensive, cybersecurity or non-cyber. So aligning talent to business risk priorities ensures security investments deliver measurable value and protect critical assets. So let's look at what's happening, preparing for the future, where we have AI and cybersecurity skills coming into this profession. The AI revolution demands new skill priorities. Why? Because AI adoption accelerates across cybersecurity operations. The demand for problem solving and critical thinking is becoming germane beyond pure technical skills. Problem solving and critical thinking. Like I mentioned, AI has come in to empower human beings and not to displace human beings. So while we are using AI to deal with the noises, when we are using AI to be able to do the monitoring, the decision-taking aspect of it, making judgments, critical analysis, taking decisions are still meant for human beings. So the future of cybersecurity belongs to professionals who can blend human judgment with technological capabilities, making non-technical skills more valuable than ever. In doing that, we look at the strategy development. Teams must develop comprehensive AI strategies while managing new risks that AI tools introduce. That is where we also need soft skills. Like I mentioned, though AI has come in to empower us, at the same time, it has also introduced new risks, and human beings have to manage those risks introduced by AIs. Again, leveraging transferable skills. Professionals with strong analytical foundations can adapt and leverage AI tools effectively. Continuous learning mindset. We have to be intentional about it. That essential in an AI-driven security landscape where tools and threats evolve daily. Continuous learning. AI augments, does not replace human beings. So the tools enhance cybersecurity capabilities, but require human judgment, ethical oversight, and strategic thinking to deploy effectively. Having said that, in every challenge, in every problem, there's always opportunities. So having AI empowering us, doing most of the technical works, have also introduced new opportunities. creating new roles focusing on AI security, prompt engineering, and AI risk management, accessible to diverse backgrounds, including those of us in legal professions, because there are so many, when it comes to data privacy, there are so many legal implications regarding the operations of the AIs. So for those of us within the legal professions, I believe that AI has also created new roles for them. So it's for them to move in and take up those roles. So in all this, what is the message of today? That your skills are the cybersecurity advantage. The professionals with technical background cannot do it alone. Just like the house builders cannot do it alone. You build house, you have those that will also market the houses for them, the agents that will help you get people that will rent the house or buy the house. We also have estate management team that will help you maintain the house. Once we have this mindset, we'll see where we fit in to operate within the cybersecurity landscape that is not meant for only people with technical background. So what is our take home today? One, beyond code. That cybersecurity is not just about coding. It's fundamentally about people, strategy, and organizational resilience. Your human-centered skills address the industry's most pressing challenges. It's beyond the code. Again, diversity strengthens defense. Like I mentioned, it's a team sport requiring all skills. So, diverse backgrounds enrich security teams with varied perspectives, enabling more comprehensive threat detection and more effective security strategies that account for real human behavior. Then our third message is your actionable path forward. Start by identifying your strongest transferable skills. Do your SWOT analysis. Then build complementary cybersecurity knowledge through accessible training programs and aptitude-focused certifications. I promise you, the sky is your starting point. The last but not the least, be the bridge. Be the bridge between the technical and the business team. The future of cybersecurity depends on professionals who can bridge technical complexity with business strategy. What does that mean? It doesn't mean you know how to do the engineering part of it, but your ability to understand what they are doing by paying attention to details, leveraging your analytical skill, your curious-minded, asking questions, your risk management strengths, your assurance capabilities will translate threats into organizational language and bring fresh perspectives to persistent challenges. So, take the first step today. Your unique skills are not just in demand. They are essential to protecting our increasingly digital world. Again, the gap you bring isn't just about your career. It's about strengthening security for everyone. More so, the security field needs you, and the time to start is now. So, my dear professionals in other areas or industry, I invite all of us today that cybersecurity profession is not meant for those with technical background. Rather, it is a diverse profession that require every area. If you're in finance, you do well in cybersecurity cost management. If you're in legal, if you do well, in fact, during my PhD program, there are two major legal courses I did. Legal and ethical management practices in cybersecurity for lawyers. Two major courses. Today, when we have issues with litigation, in fact, that most of our legal professionals, because they lack that cybersecurity profession or fear. But today, the message we are passing today is that the same skill, the same soft skills, and your inherent skill you have, the same you also need to manage any case of involving cybersecurity. And the same is also applied in every other profession. If you're a business analyst, you can also be a business analyst in cybersecurity department or space. If you're a marketer, you can market cybersecurity products. All you need is understand the language, understand the business processes, understand the framework, use the language well. If you're a trainer, you're an HR, the same applies. You do not need to know how to do for you to educate people, especially the awareness aspect of it. We are lacking resources. In fact, within the CISO organization in Nigeria in last month, being the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we took it upon ourselves to go out to schools, secondary schools, awareness. We could not cover all the schools. But the message we are passing across to them, we didn't carry our SOC centers today. It is normal training, the basic cyber defense, hygiene, discipline, cyber smart, cyber aware, and the implications, telling them what to do and what not to do, which if we give the slides to any other person and walk the person through, you can also go across. So if we are able to get other trainers from other disciplines and have all the schools within Nigeria covered, we'll be able to say that we have made 100% success. But we couldn't cover because we don't have enough people. Only CISOs were able to do that. So having shared this brief, and I will wait to receive some questions or clarifications or maybe comments from some of us for clarity. But you do not need to have the technical skills to dive into cybersecurity profession. On this note, I say thank you very much for giving me the attention to share this on this platform today. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Francis. I think one word that resonates with me and on the last slide is diversity strengthens defense. I had to jot it down because it's so powerful that the technical person alone cannot defend the digital space. In fact, with the advent of phishing, which is the #1 way in which the bad guys get into organizations, we know that phishing doesn't require many technical skills, but thank you so much for sharing. And I think all of the questions I thought I wanted to ask in terms of how people can start that journey, you have already answered them. And I've not seen any question in the chat. In case you have any question, please, you can share, you can put in the chat and I will read it for Doctor to speak on. Thank you. And let me see what I have less for the time that we have. I think, yeah, so this is, yeah, we have done justice to the first edition in November. The next edition is on the 15th of November. And in case you are here for the first time and you want to explore more, we have a YouTube channel where all of this recording, the previous editions, like I mentioned earlier, this is our 22nd edition for 2025. And this one will go live, if not this night, but by tomorrow. Hopefully, before Monday, you will find it on the page, and you can, in case you missed the beginning, you can rewatch it. So we have a LinkedIn group. LinkedIn group is where we have most interaction and also share on our upcoming courses, like the one we are having currently, which is identity and access management. So if you're on LinkedIn, you can join the group for future opportunities and also future programs. November 15th will be another time that we'll meet again. If you have any question, you can drop. Our time is fast spent, and I just want to make sure that I would be able to cover for the later. Yes, I will get the doctor will send me the presentation, so I will put it in the group for people to download if they are interested in it. What else do I want to ask? So there's a question I asked you when we were chatting, and I was saying that if you'll be willing to share. People sometimes try to understand the journey that people go through to get to where they are now, and they want it's just to probably see a way for their anchor in terms of what they how did, again, some of the things that we did that we think got us where we are may not actually be what we did. It could just be that we have done the little we know we had to do, then providence find us opportunity and we're able to take advantage of it. But there are some things that are maybe scientific, which are the things that you think people looking for opportunity are in cyber right now, are not in cyber, but want to come into cyber, and you think that this worked for me, even though I was in IT or I was in this particular area, this worked for me and it may work for you. Are there those kind of points that you want to share with us in the course of your career, Doctor?
Okay, thanks, Wale. The journey is a long one. That notwithstanding, yes, like we started from core IT. Along the line, when first the digital assurance function came up, we saw the opportunity. Like I said, that every challenge we should see opportunity in every challenge. If I might say, right from secondary school, because I attended a special science school all about chemistry, physics, biology, further maths, and all whatnot. We continue with university, computer science and engineering. We met in a Unilag, Masters in Information Technology. Then we're in core IT. But when the digital assurance function came up, CBN requiring our organizations to comply, we saw the opportunity, we moved into it. And to move into it, we have to prepare for it. That is also when the CISA was booming. We have to register for CISA, go through the courses, write the exams, understand them, because ideally, that functions or professions like IS audit, IS control, IT risk, traditionally should be meant for our counterparts in accountancy or traditional audit, internal control. But then you could see many of them, it will be like, it's so technical, it's so difficult, we cannot do it. But those of us that are in IT, ideally, we are not auditors, we are not control, we are not even risk management. But what did we do? We saw the opportunity. The security aspect of it was even the last to come on board. It was a IS auditor, IS control, IT risk. We dive into it and do the certifications, understand the technique, then back them up with the technical skills that we have. And we're there. And it keeps evolving. Along the line, the security come up. The regulators required every organization that to have a CISO, Chief Information Security Officer. We also leverage that. And for you to be able to leverage that, you need to also have the skills. So it's all about continuous learning, unlearning and relearning. You can never say that you've known it all. Now we are in the time of AI. I wouldn't know how many of us have taken the basic AI training. There are many of them, like I said, that are even free. If you check your YouTube or LinkedIn, you don't even need to pay for them these days. So it's all about continuous learning, continuous development, and you see that you're continuously being relevant, you're continuously evolving. But once you stop learning, you find out that you will not be able to fit in. So what I will share with all of us today is that irrespective of where you are today, do not say that you are left behind. At any point in time, make sure that you're continually learning. It is very, very important. And once you are consistently learning, and that's how we also remain relevant. And it's evolving. Today it is AI, tomorrow is another one. Make sure that as they're coming, you're moving, you're following them. And as you're following them, you remain relevant. For me, I didn't start my career with security or assurance function. Like, I started with core IT. Along the line, we deviated, we moved into the assurance, move into the security, and we keep following it. Tomorrow, if the beating changes, we follow it and also go back to the other side. But it's all about continuous learning. You learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I can tell you that the sky will be your limit. That will be my message for today. But for those of us that are coming from non-technical capability, I can tell you for sure that I'm an information security leader. I lead team, and I tell you clearly, I need people with soft skills. The same applies to every other information security leader. So do not say that it is only people with technical skills. No. For you to have a complete SIM, you cannot take away the risk management aspect of it, the assurance aspect of it, leadership aspect, the project management aspect of it. Why the engineers are doing the implementations, the people managing the projects are not, you need to understand the business process, understand the language, speak the language, understand the regulations guiding what they're doing, and be able to have that leadership capability and manage what they're doing without even knowing how to configure firewall. It's not your need to configure firewall. It's not your need to write any code. Leave the house, people doing the building to do the building, and understand what they're doing and supervise them effectively. And sky is your limit. And these are the people that go to the executive management, go to the board members to present what the engineers are doing. More often than not, engineers are behind the scenes doing the work. Why these people with soft skills are the people that project what they're doing to the outside world. So if I were you, you are even more important than some of us that are behind the scene doing the coding and doing the engineering work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I appreciate your time this evening. I think it's a good time to draw the curtain today. And thanks everyone for joining us. You can look for Dr. Frances on LinkedIn, even though I know she's quite busy, but she probably will see your comments or your engagements when she gets online. And thank you. And please join us again if you have the time on the 15th of November when we bring you another leader in cybersecurity to unpack some of the interesting things that I believe will do you good in your career and in your journey to transition into cybersecurity. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.
Okay, thank you.